Effective load and capacity management is one of the keystones to well-established FinOps processes and performance in hybrid infrastructures. The necessity to do it for multi-cloud environments gives extra points to the task's complexity. This is where EPAM Syndicate RightSizer can be helpful, as it provides a detailed review for each of your virtual instances and suggests load-grounded right-sizing options along with the estimations on potential savings these options can result into. The product enables checking your virtual machines in AWS, Microsoft Azure, and Google Cloud Platform. It analyzes each resource configuration, load and usage pattern, and builds machine learning-empowered suggestions on how and if the configuration of lifecycle should be changed to reach the best match between the resource capacity and its utilization. This allows to effectively eliminate overspending with underutilized resources, as well as detect and fix the cases when the current capacity isn't enough to face the expected load properly. A typical customer would be the one who would like to have the best optimization result in short terms, including the need to optimize legacy infrastructures before deciding if the architecture should be rebuilt dramatically, or need to omit significant architecture changes due to organizational or financial reasons. In addition to initial scans and optimization suggestions, EPAM Syndicate RightSizer will stay on guard and make sure that the infrastructure capacities and life cycles are well balanced with the workloads. The tool has a set of powerful features which makes the analysis and recommendations highly precise and context-effective. The analysis itself is empowered by ML mechanisms trained to build suggestions based on the real-life infrastructure decisions made by a skilled large enterprise cloud management team. The suggestions include right-sizing, scaling up or down each specific resource to match its load and configuration, and even shutdown for the instances with constant low utilization. Algorithms trained to detect the slightest manifestations of infrastructure usage patterns suggest virtual machine scheduling, which allows cutting costs without affecting instances configuration. For each recommendation, there is an expected saving you can use to estimate the effect of the change to your overall budget. What is also quite specific for the RightSizer is that it works with large time frames and can analyze data for up to 60 days, which increases the accuracy of the recommendations. Now, let us see how it looks from the inside. It is important to say that RightSizer monitors the CPU and memory of the instances in a very precise way to understand the usage patterns and not to miss any peculiarities. It is worth noticing that RightSizer's algorithm was trained and tested on a massive scope of infrastructure, and the results analysis revealed that the recommendations fit the most cases. Thus, if the CPU and memory load are lower than an expected normal threshold, but both fit the instance family purpose, scaling down is suggested. Vice versa, if they are above high load threshold, the scaling up is suggested. This may increase the cost, but will also improve the performance. There are also situations when the instance family type and utilization patterns do not match. For example, there is a compute-optimized instance with a high memory and low CPU load. In such a case, the recommendation would be to change the family and take the type with the proper CPU and RAM configuration. As was mentioned, the RightSizer algorithms are trained to detect not only high and low load, but also identify peak patterns throughout the time. This allows suggesting effective start and stop schedules and make the instance active time match its actual utilization. Having this, you will get significant cost optimization without need to rearrange the target instances. The tool is trained and tested on large-scale infrastructures, and its recommendations were proven valuable in a very vast majority of cases. However, there are still customer-specific situations when the recommendations don't match the target instances or infrastructure aims. In this case, the customer can react on specific recommendations and specify that the covered instance or included suggestions do not fit, and RightSizer will start either ignoring the respective resources or adjust the recommendations. Now, let's see how it works. To start working with Syndicate RightSizer, you need to deploy it to your account, configure load metrics export, and make sure the tool can access them. Once ready, RightSizer starts aggregating the metrics continuously, analyzes them, and shares the recommendations. Your team processes the recommendations and selects ones to implement or ignore. Once the selected recommendations are implemented, the iteration is done, and the process starts over, keeping you updated on the new possibilities. Thus, with EPAM Syndicate RightSizer, you can easily set up effective monitoring over your virtual instance's performance and detect optimization options that will help you bring each instance load and capacity to balance and get maximum performance for the most reasonable price.